Welcome to Two Fuse Wrestling. Make sure you like the page, subscribe to the page to acknowledge your tribal chief. It finally happened. The Bloodline imploded at Clash of Champions. Was it Night of Champions?
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily like the way it went down with Jimmy doing it instead of main event Jay. But
Well, I think it makes sense just because of how it started. He beat down Jimmy to get Jay to quit. So I think Jay's been protecting Jimmy the whole time.
being a good brother,
Yeah.
I could see that. Having said that, let's fantasy book where this storyline goes. Does Roman put over Solo? Does he put over main event Jay? Does he beat both of them? Does he even wrestle Solo?
Well, for me, first off, the first choice to beat Roman for the title is Cody Rhodes. And if it was Solo, I think Solo could beat Roman, and it would be like a huge boost for Solo. I don't know if Solo can carry the titles right now. The only way I see him carrying the titles is to keep the bloodline together. Like, he's going to need Heyman and the Usos. And I don't want, like, if Roman loses, I want the bloodline to, like, kind of dissolve and go away. So for me, I think it's out of the bloodline, I think it has to be Jay that would beat Roman for the titles, not Solo so much.
I I like the idea you mentioned before to me of Solo getting Heyman. To
Yeah.
me, I would protect Solo where he doesn't ever feud with Roman.
Yeah.
Having said that, I would have Roman have a passing the torch moment with him where he's like, "Hey, I'm going away. Heyman will be with you."
Yeah.
I agree, main event Jay. I want him to beat Roman. I think he will beat Roman, but it cannot be for the title. Cody Rhodes needs to win that title at WrestleMania 40 to finish the story.
Yeah.
He just needs it, and I don't really care how he goes about it. If it's he wins Money in the Bank, he wins Royal Rumble. That's what I want to happen. That's what needs to happen. I just don't know when Jay gets his win because that's still a ways away.
I think if they did like Solo and Roman against the Usos, and then Jimmy gets beat down, then you come back with Jay, like, angry, pissed off, fired up. That's where he could beat Roman, and that doesn't have to be for the title. You could do that at SummerSlam and just give me that. Like, I'd be into that.
You know what? I like that idea now that you mention it because they're probably gonna wrestle tag match at Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
And at SummerSlam, dude, why not Fight Pit, Roman and Jay?
Yeah.
I want Fight Pit to come back.
Yeah.
Like I really want, especially since the Riddle one
or
didn't live up to it.
if you
with
take
Seth.
out Jimmy and Jimmy's gone, run back that I Quit Hell in a Cell match, because Jimmy or Jay wasn't quitting in that.
Yeah.
Roman was doing all that messed up stuff to him, and he wasn't giving up. It wasn't until he got his brother that he quit.
Mm-hmm.
If you take the brother out, there's nothing to make Jay quit now.
Does he just pass out and that's how Roman wins, or he wins it? Because
Well,
then he would have to take the
if it
belt.
was AEW, they would do that like they did with their unsanctioned match
Yeah.
that ended with a referee stoppage. But for Solo, to me, if you don't change anything, like Solo would beat Roman, but he would still need the bloodline, and he would also be this unbeatable like force. So you're just kind of going sideways. You're not changing anything. You know what I'm saying? You still would have the bloodline with this monster champion and Heyman doing all the talking. Where if you just dissolve it and Jay essentially kills the bloodline, then you're getting all new stories and everyone can go off and do their own thing.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense in where it has to happen. Yeah, because you're just prolonging the Bloodline storyline
Yeah.
if Solo takes over.
Yeah, you're just stepping sideways. You're not progressing anything.
What I was wondering, and kind of what I want to see happen more so after this, is I want Jay to beat Roman after Cody takes the title. I'd rather Solo work on his character a little bit in a tag team with Jimmy and main event Jay,
Yeah.
maybe get an actual title run.
I think Solo could go mid card on his own and eventually be main event on his own. But right now, like if you did it this year, I think it's too soon. He would need people
Heyman.
around him.
Yeah, people around him.
Yeah.
Heyman. Yeah, I can't remember any of his promos from NXT.
I don't think the only thing I ever remember was him like paying homage to Umaga when he had a match with somebody and he painted his face and it was like in honor of Umaga. He kind of had a promo before that.
I remember watching the match where he had with Von Wagner, and they were hyping up how brutal those guys were, but during the hype, it felt like they weren't even talking. Neither one was talking. It was all like
Yeah.
video of them beating the shit out of
Yeah.
people. So he is pretty much like this. His character is very one-dimensional. I'm a monster. I don't really
Yeah.
talk. And if you're going to be main event, obviously, I mean, you got to talk. Like,
You could have Heyman do the talking, but again, it's just Bloodline 2.0 at that point. You're not really changing anything or
and
helping anybody out.
it would also be more lackadaisical if you're sidestepping again, where it's
Yeah.
2.0, because it's like it's nothing
You're trying
new.
to milk it.
Yeah, milk it. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's NWO again.
Yeah.
All right. In the comments, let us know your fantasy booking of what happens now that the bloodline is dissolving.